Good afternoon, or I should say good evening. It's 7 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. I had to think about that. The 23rd of April. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're joining me live especially, my name is Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent stamping demonstrator, and my company name that you'll find me under is Jemini Crafts. So this week I have been featuring this stamp set called Welcoming Window, and also the matching dies that go with it, that cut out the windows and the shutters and the window box, vases, pots, all sorts of bits and pieces. And I've been focusing this all week. Welcoming Window is available as a stamp set, but also as a bundle at a discount, and that's available through my online shop. Let me show you briefly the cards that we've made so far to give people an opportunity to hop on and say hi. Hi Katie, hi Karen, hello Laura, and hi Babsy. So let me show you briefly what we've done this week. Just going to skip through these. So these are all available on my Facebook Lives and on YouTube. And you can see these being created in progress. Oh, hi Len. So yes, thank you for putting hashtag live. So if you are watching me live, feel free to use hashtag live. And if you're watching me on replay, feel free to comment hashtag replay. And then I know, obviously if you're live, I see you making comments during the live, but if you are watching on replay, then obviously I don't see your comments as we go along. You're still welcome to comment, of course. Hi Jeanette and Brenda. And if you have any questions and we're not live, then obviously I will go through and check those out and get back to you and answer any questions you may have. So these are in no particular order. This uses my favourite stamp, which is that lovely brickwork stamp. And I've used the die cuts here for the pots and the flowers. This was my starting card, just simple stamping on Monday. And that has got, hi Kay, matching envelope to go with it. This was the variation that we did, and I think it was Katie who chose the purples for the flowers for this one. And then we had this one, which was yesterday I believe, using the die cuts for the shutters and the little hinges for the shutters, and die cutting the flowers, and again using that brickwork behind. This was the one I did for Carol yesterday in the orange backing, as I know orange is Carol's favourite colour. Hi Carol, and as if by magic she arrives. This was me having a little play, and this is a bit of the inspiration for today, which is to mix Grace's Garden with the Welcoming Window. So you're going to see me use this part of the stamp set. Here's some of the elements that have been stamped out, so you can see them in person. And then here's some of the other stamped elements. So what I'm going to do today is all stamping, no die cutting at this point that I'm aware of. So today I'm going to use this window, the stamped shutters, this is just one stamp, the bricks around it, and some of the pots. So as I say, this is one that's in my head. So I'm hoping this is going to work. We will see. So I'm going to start with a piece of basic white card, and I'm using a piece of Misty Moonlight behind, and then a white card underneath that. So those are my 3 layers, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for my shutters and my window frame. that is the plan. Let me just see. Really wanted a nicer piece of paper. Okay, sorry, that's a little bit scruffier than I like to use. I do apologise. Let's turn this over. Okay, so in my mind, what I'm going to have is a window in the centre with 2 shutters, with brickwork around it, and the lintel underneath, and then something in the window itself. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the window and the shutters, and then build the picture around it. That is my plan. So the colours that I have are crumb cake, misty moonlight and espresso. I may introduce some others, I'm not quite sure at this stage. So I'm going to use misty moonlight here. Oh, bless you, Jill. Well, fingers crossed for the Leicester game today. I have to say they've been doing very well recently, I believe. So I have everything crossed for you. Oh, hi, Valerie. That's very nice of you to join us today. Thank you. So I'm inking up this window stamp with misty moonlight ink. And I can position this roughly central, and I'm just doing it by eye, and slightly high of centre, like so. There's that. Then I'm going to add what would be the windowsill. So this is looking from the outside in, so looking in at a window, if that makes sense. So rather like this one. Okay, that's my theory. We will see. So, inking this up, and I'm just going to place this underneath, like so. Now there might be a gap because I can't see straight down from the camera. Let me have a look. Is that too wonky? No, I think that'll be all right. Okay, and then I'm going to add the shutters on either side. So the shutter is 1 stamp, but because it's got shading, I'm going to turn it over and around by 180 degrees between each stamped image. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit so I can see a bit better what I'm doing. So that's on the right hand side, like so. And then I'm going to turn that one round, just for the shading really, and pop this on the other side. Hoping I've got that fairly well lined up. Oh hey, excellent. Whew, there we go. So I've got my 2 shutters, 1 on either side. I've got my window. So now what I'm going to do is build up with the brick around it, but what I'm going to do is put, if I can find that card again, okay, so put this idea into practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this the rose coming down either side, and then I'm going to stamp the bricks. So the rose is going to go a little way away from here, so it's going to go along there, and then I'm going to bring the bricks in. Let's see. I like it when there's a plan. It's a bit tricky when you haven't actually tried it, but let's give it a go. You can always start again. I'm just doing this at a little angle because for some reason I'm sitting at a funny angle at my desk. I really don't know why. I've got my die cutting machine right next to me, and that's probably pushed me over and out of the way. Okay, so I'm stamping this in early espresso just so that I can colour in the roses. And what I'm going to do is start off the top like so, and add this one in like so. There we go. I'm going to do the same on the left hand side. Now, Grace's Garden is a really cute stamp set on its own. It's got these lovely flowers. This is the one that I'm using. It's got this fantastic fence, a little cat who I'm thinking I might put in the window, and a bird, and this that you can make a whole line of fencing from. Grace's Garden is £17, so it's a really good value stamp set. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure Grace's Garden is retiring. It does have matching dies to cut out the fence and a fantastic archway, but it's great for scenery basically. Okay, whew. So I've got my roses coming down the side. Now I'm not going to colour anything in until I've got all the components in place, just in case I change my mind. Obviously you could cut out components, so if it went all wrong you could still cut out this image just with fussy cut with scissors if you wanted to. So now I'm going to add my brickwork. So this is that fabulous brick stamp, and I'm going to use crumb cake because this is quite well, my crumb cake is particularly light. So what I was thinking is that I can put, you see, that brickwork into that little slot. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Like so. Now I'm not particularly worried about going over here with my brickwork because I'm going to colour this in, and because I'm using crumb cake behind, I think it will be fairly easy to have this coloured in and make it look like it's on the top. Does that make sense? So let's add in some of this brickwork, and I'm deliberately going to leave some gaps. Just turn this around because I like the look of it being you know, sort of broken bit of stone, for want of a better description. So can you see this is really light on the right hand side? So I'm just building up my scene. There we go. Yep, that's definitely looking okay. So far so good. And then I'm going to do a line of brickwork over the top. I'm not sure how much of that you can see with the light. If I bring that up, maybe that's a bit clearer. Like so. So I'm just going to use some blends pens to colour in those flowers and everything when I'm ready. Let's just pop a few in here. What would be useful actually with this set is a single brick and then you could fill some of those in, but I quite like it like that. Okay, right, let's have something on the inside of here. So I was quite tempted to have this little cat sat as if he's looking in the window of there, I could have him slightly to the left and have a little pot next to him, or even two pots. Let's just have a look and see. So let's pop. I'm going to have a terracotta pot there. Have I still got terracotta out? No, I need to just go and grab it. So sadly, terracotta tile is retiring along with our other in colours, and it's always the way when you just find a colour you really like. It's perfect for these bricks. But never mind. So I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to stamp a pot here, like that. And then I'm going to stamp the cutest little cat. Ideally, I could do with one facing out, but I can't think off the top of my head of a cat the right size, or a dog that would be to the right scale or anything. So let's pop this cat down there. There we go. Cute. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of colouring in the top. So the question is, am I going to add a bit of foliage to my pot? Just thinking, I could take the top of this, for example. Let's have a look, see. So you can see through this, because it's well stained, you can see actually where it's going to go. So I think I might get away with that. Like so. So what I'm going to grab is post-it note or masking tape, whichever I find first. Let's go for a post-it note or two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all of that up like so, and the cat and the piece behind, and I might even do that bit. I know it's a little bit overkill, but I don't want the edges of the stamp, if I'm not looking at it carefully, to get in the way of anything else. So I've got that which can go in there. Let me have a look on the stamp set welcoming window if there's anything better. So I have this one or this one, but it's a very small window that I'm playing with, so I think I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to stamp it in green, because then it can be anything and I can add a little bit of colour with the flowers. So this is Pear Pizzazz, and I'm not going to ink up the whole thing, although I have obviously covered everything up here. Make sure that's fairly well inked. And then I can just place this where I want it, want a little bit of stalk. There we go. So I just masked everything else off. So take these off carefully and then you can reuse them because there's only the tiniest amount of ink on there. There we go. That works okay. Alright, let's colour our cat in. Let me shut these ink pads so I don't move anything onto it. So it's coming together. So let's see, let's have a smoky slate cat. So I've stamped him in early espresso just for that nice outline, and this is light smoky slate even. Hi Carol G. I'm having a play, putting a couple of stamp sets together. Let's see if I can add a little bit of detail with the dark smoky slate. He is quite small, so just adding a little bit more. So I wonder what everybody has been up to today. Do let me know whether you've been able to enjoy the weather if you're in the UK. There we go. So there's my little cat. I think I might just add a tiny amount of Highland Heather here to make it look a little bit like I can't think of the word. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. You see it everywhere, but I can't think what it is. It's a herb. No, it's lavender. That's the word. Dear. So just a little bit of colour in there. Literally a dot. That is it. Okay. And then I'm just going to use some greenery down the side. See what I have here. I've got light granny apple green. So Carol's been pottering in the garden. Jeanette's been doing a bit of gardening and washing. Excellent. Certainly a perfect day for getting the washing out on the line. It was definitely cold this morning. Overnight it was about -1, so it did take a little while to warm up. I did manage to enjoy it for a little while this afternoon. Okay, so Carol W, I wonder if you're still at work or whether you're home. Yeah, chilly wind. Yes, I'm quite lucky that my garden is fairly well protected. So although I have got a summer dress on, I am wearing a jacket jumper over it. Oh, she's home. Good, that's all right then. Right, I think that's all of my greenery. And so let me see what colour flowers we're going to have. I think let's have Rococo Rose. So it's a sort of soft blush colour. So as you can see, the fact that I stamped the brickwork over is not really affecting it, because I stamped the brickwork in my light crumb cake. So there's a few leaves I missed there. And then we're nearly done. So I've been busy making arrangements for my catalogue launch. So I have an in colour club that's available. So if you like to, oh thanks Babsy, stock up on your in colours, then I have an in colour club. So each month you get a whole stash of things like an ink pad, blends pen, marker pen, papers, card, ribbon and gems in each of the new in colours. So I'll be sending information about that. So if you're not on my mailing list and that is of interest, just comment or private message me with your email address and then I can add you to the list. And for those of you that do my class in a box, then I'm doing a special launch event for you. So watch out for details of that. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is just add a little bit of shading behind here, because obviously you wouldn't look in and just see it as white. So I'm thinking just using my light crumb cake and maybe a little bit of pool party to look like the window is reflecting slightly. There we go. I'm going to put a little line down here to connect these. But I mean, when shutters are open, they do have a gap, don't they? So I don't think you need to do that particularly if you didn't want to. And let's just add a little bit more, like so. And the bottom, like that. And then finally a little bit of pool party, and then also what I'm going to do is add some brickwork here. It's all right on this side, but I seem to sort of kept it fairly light on this side, so I'm just going to add a little bit of brickwork back over. So here we go with a bit of pool party, and just literally I must learn a better way of doing light on windows. It's something I need to find out. So I've just got a very light touch on there. And then what I'm actually going to do is use my colour lifter to just soften it again. I appreciate you can't see it in detail there, and in fact it does lighten up anyway, but just use my colour lifter across there, and that will create a little Just making sure there's some in there. Yes, there is. Okay, so I'm just going to use that little brickwork just to fill in this gap down the left hand side, and then I can mount it up. I'm thinking, so there is in this set, I could do welcome at the bottom, but also wishing our paths crossed a little more often might work across the bottom there. Or welcome for a new home card. Oh, Pete's cooking. Excellent. I gather he's been busy today. Well done. So just adding these little bits in here, just on the edge. And again, not worrying that I'm going over the flowers in particular. Cheers, Babsy. We'll be in our team chat if you're if you want to join us later. So one of the things I do with my lovely team of demos is have a open team chat on a Thursday evening where they can hop on board virtually and just say hi, and we can catch up with what people are doing. Okay, so let us mount this together, see what it looks like. So this is my Misty Moonlight to pick up the colour of the shutters, and that one is on there. So any suggestions for a sentiment? So I really got the choice of welcome, wishing our paths crossed a little more often. I've got hello on here. Or I could leave it blank. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And in the meantime, I'm just going to mount this up when I can find my glue. Like so. Take the hair out of the way. So it's a lovely still evening. It's still beautiful blue sky, but obviously the sun is disappearing down. And in my back garden it goes down behind the trees. There we go. Just taking my time to line that up. Like so. And then that is going to go onto there. I could put it on Rococo Rose. Yeah, that's a good idea, Carol. Oh, Jeanette says blank. That's true. I wonder, I'm just going to have a look at Rococo Rose as a base layer card. I'll see whether it looks better than white. See what we think. This is another colour that's retiring, unfortunately. Again, just as I get to like it. Ooh. Okay, let me score this and then you can vote for which one you like best. Because I'm undecided about that. Whether the pink is too much. Obviously I can put a white layer on the inside with that, probably that cute little cat again. Oh, that's nice, Carol. There's a lot of people on the move at the minute. So okay, time to vote. So this is on Rococo Rose, so it matches in. And then this is on white. So there's 12 of you, I believe, watching. So let's have a quick tally. So Jeanette says white. Carol says white. Any more for any more? Oh, Kay says white. I think I see a little pattern going here. Katie says white. Lynn says white. Okay. 5. That's nearly halfway anyway. Unless all the other people vote for a Cocoa Rose. It's going to go on to white, I think. Okay. White it is. Oh, Brenda says rose. Well done, Brenda. My feeling was rose, actually. Because it ties in with the roses. But I think we've been outvoted, Brenda. So it's definitely on the white. And I think what I'm going to do is I was going to stamp these on the inside, but then I can't use the blends pens. But I could use my Stampin' Write markers. Although my Rococo Rose one is just it's fallen off my table. So let's just adhere this to this. There we go. So thank you for watching me live or on replay. It's always appreciated. Now I'm not doing a demonstration tomorrow, live Friday, and I have got our class for Butterfly Brilliance on Saturday afternoon. Normally I have a craft and chat session on Sunday, but I'm down to see my mother for the second time in a long time. So there won't be a craft and chat on Sunday. So the next time you will see me will be Monday morning. If there's anything you want to order that you've seen that I've used today, the welcoming window is carrying over, but Grace's Garden is definitely retiring. Okay, I think the two go really well hand in hand. As I say, Grace's Garden stamp set is 17. I'm not sure whether it is still in stock. I didn't check because I only came up with this plan just before we went, well, about a quarter of an hour before we went live. Just going to have a look and see if this sentiment would fit on there nicely. Wishing our paths crossed a little more often. Let's go for it. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this sentiment, just going to let that relax. Okay. Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like it. It did work. Sometimes they don't when you have something in mind, and sometimes they do. So just going to stamp this on a scrap piece. Yeah. If I made a mistake, I could always put it onto another piece of paper and add it on the top. But it rather fits underneath that window, doesn't it? There we go. wishing our paths crossed a little more often. All done and dusted. So thank you so much. I will add a decorated envelope to that, but I hope you like the mix and match design of the 2 stamp sets put together. So I wish you a fantastic weekend. I think the weather is set fair for the weekend as far as I remember. So take care of yourselves, won't you? I will see some of you for our class on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. Trying to think who's watching. So Katie, Carol, Tracy. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. That's a really nice thing to say. So yes, have a good evening, everybody. Look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, and I do hope you can keep crafting. Watch out in your postbox for the new catalogue and in your emails for detail of my catalogue extravaganza. Oh, I can't even say it. Catalogue extravaganza. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care now. Cheerio. Bye-bye.